more controls.
Tell me more about that new world order.
Okay, so I don't know if you've ever heard of the World Economic Forum, but the World Economic Forum is a group of billionaires who have an agenda to control all people, like throughout the world. And their agenda is to have people microchip. They said by 2030, they want everyone to be microchipped. They want everyone to have, or every government to have a way to be able to track every person's movements, what they buy, and what they basically their lifestyle. So that if they see you trying to purchase something that they deem not appropriate for you, they can block it. And we can see that that sort of happened. It began on a smaller scale in Canada just recently, a few months ago, when the truck drivers went on strike because they said that they didn't want to take the shot. So because they went on strike and they said that they didn't want to take the shot, the government of Canada seized their accounts, seized all of their bank accounts. So most people would say, how can a government take people's money? Well, they did it. So that lets me know that it is plausible, it is possible, because it did happen. And then for the World Economic Forum wanting to have that type of control over everyone, that lets me know that their goal of 2030 implementing that is, it is a possibility. So, and again, with the diaspora, if they're wanting to leave, I would leave now. I would leave before that happens and before those restrictions and all of that control starts, because you're not going to be able to move around freely. Because if the Western nations see that we're trying to band together, to unite, to strengthen El-Kabylin, because they've wanted us divided and they've not wanted El-Kabylin to be strong, they're going to thwart that. And I can't
All right.
allow it. I mean, I can't without saying something.
This new world order, this chipping of the people, is it something that is designed for against the African people, or is something global?
Okay, so it's global. It's global because again, what they're wanting to do is a microchipping system where they can track. They're saying that they want to make things easier for people to be able to purchase things, so that they don't have to worry about, like a credit card or anything like that. So the microchip would be easier for them to just be able to kind of like wave their hand, and they would be able to make their purchases. And it's not that simple though. It's a form of control, and I don't know again how this is going to affect El-Kabylin, but other than the fact that there are certain puppets, political puppets, that the West has put into place in certain countries in El-Kabylin. So I would just presume that because they are puppets of the West, that those countries, like we can look at who's it, like Rwanda right now, how Rwanda with the refugees, what African nation looks to the UK, and I'm using Rwanda as this example because this is what they're doing. They're looking to the UK to tell them who can come into their country, which refugees can be allowed into their country. It's their country. It's not the UK's country. So why are they looking at the UK? So again, that's just an example of a puppet being put into place and them hearkening to the voice of the West, in this case, the UK, telling them which refugees can be allowed into Rwanda. That makes no sense to me. Like, the UK is not Rwanda. Why are you listening to, I mean, I know why you're listening to them, because you're a puppet. You're one of their puppets, so you're going to do their bidding. So, but that's just an example. So I think that the way that it will come into Alkebulan is through these puppets that the West has in place, because ultimately they want it to be worldwide. So, and Alkebulan is part of the world.
Don't you think maybe there are some logistics that will even make this chip to function? Because, or don't you think that at a point, if it come to that, that the people are going to be able to resist at a point? Because not everybody is going to sign up for things like this. A good case in sight would be maybe like the COVID-19 situation, no? You see, there are some people that didn't believe that that is actually the whole truth. And they stood out and began to speak out against it. If maybe the World Economic Forum and all the big players in the world decide that they want to chip everybody, there is going to be resistance, I want to believe. Or don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad that you used that example with the shot with COVID. So if you remember with Ghana, and I'm not sure how familiar you are with what happened with Ghana, but Ghana mandated people to get the shot. Okay, so thank God for the lawyers in Ghana who said no, that's unconstitutional. So they fought it. Unfortunately, some people did go along with the mandate and did get the shot, but enough people and the lawyers fought it at the constitutional level and said it's unconstitutional. How can you mandate something that hasn't been proven and that hasn't been accepted by the Food and Drug Administration in Ghana? Like, how can you mandate something that they haven't put their stamp of approval on? So fortunately, because of that fight, and again, thank God for those lawyers, the mandate had to be lifted. But there were some people, because of that mandate, the initial mandate, who did get it. So going back to what we were discussing earlier about all of the different troops that the US has in LCAP, that's not a mistake. That's by design. That's by design. As you know, in this country, in the US, there's been so much gun violence, and so many people are saying, oh, we need legislation about guns. Well, when the people aren't armed, or the we'll say the law-abiding citizens aren't armed, the criminals will always have guns. They're not going to give up their guns. So the criminals will have guns, and the military will have guns. So in Alkebulan, guns aren't, at least in my understanding, and I'll just use Ghana, guns aren't something that people buy or purchase for protection. Again, going back to all of the military bases in Alkebulan, all throughout the countries in Alkebulan, it's by design. So if people are not armed and you have a strong military force there, if governments worldwide are being told that everyone needs to take this chip, okay, and for those who don't, they will be, and this is just the worst case scenario. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm just saying this is the worst case scenario. For people who refuse the chip, if the military can be used to, we'll say, persuade people into
Or
changing
force
their
them.
mind. Yeah, and you can't do anything because you're not armed. And again, I'm not telling people to go out to buy weapons or anything like that. I'm just saying I would rather be on the side of caution and protecting my family. Hopefully my husband would protect me. But so, and hopefully he would have the good sense to arm himself.